What's good, YouTube? This your man Spiel Dog. I see where they got Errol Spence, the number one contender to fight Fundora next, but more likely Earl, I think he, probably coming back to have a few more fights, make a little bit more money, and take care of his family for the rest of his life. I think he said something about he didn't really want his kids to follow in his footsteps as far as boxing. And if that be the case, then I don't think if they get them boys, if they stay around it much longer, one of them may fall in love with it just because he watching his daddy in the gym and messing around, and one of them might just fall in love with it. And I'm sure he wouldn't force him not to follow his dream if one of them wanted to follow in the dad's footsteps. I'd be real surprised if at least one of them don't want to do that. But as much as I know Earl don't want to do it, as much as I know he don't want to hear it, the right fight for him right now is Keith Thurman. It's the right fight for both of them. It it'll it'll make big money. It'll definitely sell. If Keith Thurman can't do nothing else, he can sell a fight. You know, I think it'll be a hell of a fight. It's a fight that should have happened a long time ago. It's a fight where I think it's time for maybe Earl to set his pride and his feelings aside and think about like he could say a lot of times the business part of it, and unless he's just willing to sit out the ring again and wait on Fundora and hope that Fundora fight him instead of Tim Tszyu next. Keith Thurman sitting out there begging for a fight with anybody. I think Keith Thurman need to either get in the ring with Errol Spence or Boots. It's sad to say, with although he been out the ring a long time, I don't see no other direction for Keith. I really see Keith fighting Boots because I know Earl ain't gonna fight him, but I think it's the right fight for Errol Spence. It's a big name. He's an ex-champion. Y'all both only got one loss. It's a fight that was going to be one of the biggest fights we thought in boxing. The fight that him and Crawford had was supposed to be with him and Keith. Uh, I just think it's the right fight and the right time for it. Both of them been out the ring a lot, so nobody really got an advantage as far as being busy, as far as on the fighting side. And Keith, they both getting over injuries. I think it's the right fight and the right time for it. I really do, man. And I really wish Earl would give it some consideration. I mean, I honestly understand how he feel because it wasn't what Keith did when he wouldn't fight Earl. It's how he did it. So I get where Earl coming from. I promise you, I do. But we talking about millions of dollars here. Now I guess Earl figured he don't need Keith to make the millions of dollars, but they still there. And outside of Terrence Crawford, Boots, uh, Fundora might not even pay that much. I think they would. I think that would be a pretty, especially on Earl Spence side. I really believe he would get a good payday for that fight. And just like with the fight with Terrence Crawford, I think they'll have crazy numbers on the back end on the pay per view side. Although a lot of people has kind of gave up on Keith Thurman, they will pay to see that fight because everybody they pretty much in the same boat to some degree as far as inactivity, and needing a solid tune up, and they can be each other's tune up to some degree, because they both top level fighters, and then God forbid if one of them lose, you didn't lose to somebody like a Blair Cobb level fighter or something like that. No disrespect to Blair Cobb, that's just the first name came in my mind because he fighting Broner. But uh, you know, if you rusty and it don't show into the ring, you could have this L against anybody. At least have it against an elite level fighter, an elite named fighter, where it don't stain you. Because I would be more concerned with Keith in that respect than I would Earl Spence, because Keith the one that been out the ring the longest. And Earl Spence got a few more advantages as far as height, reach, naturally the bigger the guys, so whoever would win that fight, it'll be another one similar with Earl losing to Terrence Crawford. It won't be no shame in losing to Earl Spence, and it won't be no shame if you lose to Keith Thurman. But I think that's the right fight, right money fight, and the biggest, safest fight for both of them. I really believe that. I'm sure Earl not gonna do it, but I sure wish he would take that fight into consideration, man. Because I mean that. But what Keith probably gonna have to do after Boots fight Crawley, if Keith don't make a fight with somebody by the time Boots and Crawley fight, then I think Keith Thurman need to be at the fight and climbing up in the ring and calling Boots out for a fight and get ready to go ahead and get in there with the young gun and see what he still got left. You know, no, ain't no won't nobody be expecting him to beat Boots, but if Keith is Keith, the possibility is there because we seen Boots have a little trouble with a guy that can move and punch while he moving, and Keith is a master at that. Probably one of the best in the game at using the whole ring. It's just that he can't take body shots, and sometimes he get tired late in the fight from doing all that running around the ring. But I still think that's the right fight for them, for both of them. I mean, and if they not gonna fight each other, then I guess Spence probably is gonna just sit back and wait for Fundora. And I can't say if it's right or wrong, but I wouldn't mind seeing Earl and Ryan Garcia bump either. But I will say this. I hear what maybe Ryan did get caught juicing. I don't know, but I was watching him working out today, and that left hook is stick. I mean, it's fast and hard. I mean, that boy got a sweet left hook, and I mean, he always had it, but maybe Derrick James done showed him how to throw it right or something. But it looked like it's a whole lot harder and quicker. I mean, that left hook is beautiful. I mean, he got a sweet left hook. So, it ain't no shame for Devin. I see Devin finna sue him now and try to get the loss off his record. But and okay, I can understand that if he was actually dirty, but what Devin needs to do the most though is realize, yeah, he came in there dirty, and I still should have beat him. That's what he needs to, and not coulda, shoulda beat him. All I had to do was keep my damn hands up. That's all that I had to do. I keep my hands up and bob your head from time to time, because he had his head sitting there like a statue all night. I think after that getting clipped in the first round, it just really took Devin off his square. But Keith and Earl need to really, one of them need to call the other one and try to sit down and talk and see if they can somehow squash whatever beef they got and go in there and get that money, so they can to take care of their families and their kids, and keep, and don't forget what's most important. It ain't about winning or losing for them at this point, because they on the back end of this thing. It's about securing as much money as they can to provide for their family for the rest of their life, and they had the opportunity to make that kind of money. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Till the next time, it's your boy Spill Dog. I'm out.